today marks the day where we take the steps to create a mega base. This project will be the largest project I've ever created in a single Minecraft world, and I'm super excited for how it's going to turn out. But I'm going to need to go grab some resources from my other projects as I have no materials nearby. Now, I made a rough idea of what I want to build in a creative world, so I have a good plan in mind, but we'll obviously make some changes on the fly and make it fit into the landscape that we're going to be building on over there. So coming over to this chest monster here, we definitely have enough resources. We're using this to build our last project in the last episode, which I'm still currently working on, but that'll be taking place in streams. So make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any streams or new videos. But like I was saying, this chest monster actually helps us out because there's plenty of resources in here that we can use to start the castle. Well, it looks like I'm going to need to take more than one trip back to the castle. All right, so I got some materials moved over here now. Cobblestone, lots of cobblestone, some stone. But I'm noticing one thing. We don't have a lot of tuff and we don't have much andesite. And we're cooking up some stone here for some stone bricks. But yeah, we're going to go need to collect that from the mines. And as well, I also want to make some, what's it called? Mossy blocks. So, wait. You can use moss? I thought you had to use vines. I mean, that makes sense, but like the only recipe I know is with vines. Oh, okay. That makes my job a lot easier. I was going to start growing some vines. I did that for the last project and I was like, I can't use as many mossy blocks as I want because I thought I only could use vines. Okay. This is good news, but also kind of bad news because I've been spending all this extra time getting vines, and I literally traveled thousands of blocks to a jungle to go get these vines. But you know what? It's all right. We'll go collect some moss and some tuff and some andesite, and I'll be back, and we can get started on these walls and our main entrance. Also, I'm not sure if I've showed off this guy in a video yet. This is our horse LeBron, Norbel, which is LeBron backwards. There's some crazy shenanigans in one of our streams, and now this horse is named LeBron. So, yeah, I just found some tufts, so let's get to digging. Ooh, and there also happens to be an andesite vein right next to where I mined out all that tuff. All right, so we collected all our materials. We got a ton of tuff, even more tuff, some andesite, and a bunch of moss so we can create all our mossy variants of our blocks. Now, let's get started on this castle entrance. Okay, so after doing a few calculations, I actually want to expand this hill a little bit, just around here, because the gate is a little larger than I thought it was going to be, but I think it'll help set the scale of this, because I don't want to make the entrance too small, and it doesn't fit in with the size of the castle. Now the hill is extended a little bit on the sides here. I'm not going to terraform this just yet because I don't know what I want this to look like and eventually what this castle will look like. So we'll just leave it like this for now, but just know eventually we'll terraform this whole area. It's just easier to do it this way now. And if I decide to change something, I don't have to rip up all that nice terraforming I did. All right, so we're going to start off with the first tower. I'm going to place this stone here, and then we're going to make a cross shape like this. Now from here, we'll extend this side out, so it should be 5 wide there, and then this should also be 5 wide, right? And then we'll link these other ones up. And there we go. That is going to be the base of our tower. Now from this edge right here, we're going to count 11 blocks, and that's where we're going to start the edge of the other tower. Okay, so I just counted and 11 blocks is like right here. So I actually need to move this structure right here. And let me just position it real quick and then we can move on from here. Okay, unfortunately it's raining now, but I did get the bases of the towers kind of lined up where I wanted it. And now it's centered up with where the castle keep will be. And I'm liking the dimensions so far of this. And yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start building these structures up. So from the base here, it'll be 17 blocks tall. Yeah, this is going to be a really tall tower, but I think it's necessary as this is quite a large castle. Also, you are not welcome here, sir. Goodbye, sir. That was not nice. That was very rude, sir. Sir, please. Thank you. Okay, so before I was rudely interrupted by that very mean and ugly looking pillager, yeah, this tower is going to be ginormous, same with this one. But I think it's necessary because this castle is just so large. So anyways, let's start building up these towers all the way up to 17 blocks tall. And there we have it. We're all the way up to the top. Now I just realized something. I counted incorrectly from my creative test, and it's actually meant to be 16 blocks tall. I was counting the extra slab that we'll eventually add to the top. So it's kind of like 16.5 blocks tall. So I was close, but we're going to take this down one more block. So we're 16 blocks high now. And we're going to do the same to the other tower. And there we go. Both towers are now built all the way up. It's just time to start adding some details. So we're going to bring up these corners right here, 2 blocks tall. And then we're also going to bring them up with 3 stone brick walls. So we get a nice, more circular shape because this is looking a little square right now. And then we're just going to do that to all the corners. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add these little supports at the bottom here on the front and the back. Now you'll see why in a minute that we're not going to add it to the sides because this is going to be our gate here. And then we're going to attach some walls here. So it's really going to not be important because we'll end up tearing it down. But we're just going to make this shape right here. Then we'll take some stone brick walls and we'll put some stairs on top. And this tower is really starting to come together. It's taken shape, and this base structure and supports really adds to the shape and stops it from being so flat. All right, so the support structures are all in at the bottom. Now we're going to work towards the top of the tower. So we're going to be doing something similar to the top of the tower on our watermill over there. And we're going to add those little structures and spires, or whatever you want to call them, spikes. And that should add a lot of detail to the top of these. So I'm going to take a stone brick wall, place it right there. And then we're also going to take this stair here, and we'll just place them every other block. Then we'll repeat that process around the entire outside. Then once we've done all of that, we'll take our stone bricks and place it on top of all the blocks we just placed. And from there, we'll take some stone brick slabs and just place it on top of all these outside blocks here. And once all the slabs are placed on these outside blocks, we're going to take some stone brick walls and just fill in the rest of these gaps here. And there we have it. We got the top of the tower complete. Now let's just look at it from the bottom. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Now let's just do it to the other tower. All right, so we got both of the basic structures for these towers done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add an arch here for our gate. And we'll have a building that'll run across both of these towers here. So we're going to build 3 blocks wide in the center here, but I'm actually going to leave a gap for this doorway here. But we're going to bring it up 7 blocks. And then we're going to bring it out 1 more block. So it should look something like that. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take the same thing on this side and also bring it up 7 blocks. Next, we're going to take some stairs and we're going to count up 5 blocks. So right here. Put a stair, and then we're going to take our stone bricks, and we're just going to bring them across like this. Then we'll have a shape like this, and we'll take some stone brick slabs and place them right there. So that's the archway we got going here. Now let's just fill it in on the other side. And I actually like it with that center slab filled in more, so I'm going to fill it in. Now we'll take some spruce fences and we'll just bring them down to look like the gate. Looking really sweet right now. Next, we're going to start building the building that'll span across this gap right here. Oh, and looking through these chests, I don't have much oak, literally 7 logs. So let's go chop some down because I'm going to need a little bit of oak. Also, I'm going to need a little more spruce and some dark oak, so I might as well go grab those now. All right, now that we got a few trees chopped down, we can start building this structure that will go right here. So first, we're going to take some spruce logs and just lay them across here. Now we're also going to strip them for the better texture. We'll also bring this up 3 more blocks. All right, so now we got the outline of this done. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take some oak logs and we're just going to place them like this. And we're also going to strip these logs. Then we'll take some oak planks and just fill in the rest of the wall. Then we'll put the roof on. So we're going to take our slabs here and just build up a pattern like this. Whoops. Get rid of that. There we go. And we'll bring this across the whole way. And there we go. The basic structure for this entire gate is completed now. The rest to do is just little detail work, but we'll get to that later. So next, we're going to start on the wall. Now we're going to build it 3 blocks wide here, and I'm just going to get a rough shape of how I want it to look. All right, so we got this small little section of the wall we're going to build up here. Now I'll build this section with y'all, and then I'll complete the rest later. But what we're going to do next is we're going to build this wall up 9 blocks tall. So we'll take all these blocks up to 9 blocks. All right, so the wall is all the way up to 9 blocks tall now. And I like this shape I got here. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but it looks pretty sweet, looks pretty natural. It's a nice curve, and we'll continue it along that way eventually. Oh geez, this is going to be a huge terraforming project. I did not realize there was a giant cliff here. But next what we're going to do is add a little more shape to this wall as it's a little flat right now. All right, so along the bottom here, we're just going to place a row of blocks like this. After we've done that, we're going to alternate stone brick walls and stairs. So I'll just build this up like that. And then I'll come back in with some stairs. Take our stairs now, and we'll just build up 1 block. And I'm going to rotate them right here so we get that nice shape. Now, it's kind of hard to tell from over here since we're using all stone brick right now. But once we get this basic structure completed and start adding details, I'll start texturing it and it'll become a lot more obvious of the shape that we're going for. But this is looking really nice so far. Now we're going to work on the top of the wall. So just like we have the spikes on the top of our towers up here, we're going to add those to the walls over here. So we're going to line up our stairs with the stairs at the bottom, and we're actually going to place it 1 block down, and we'll continue all along the wall. Then we'll take our stone bricks and just build on top of all the stairs. Then on top of all the blocks we just placed, we'll add some slabs. And in between all these spikes, we'll add our stone walls. Oh, and I'm really liking how the wall is taking shape right now. This is starting to come together really nicely. And yeah, this design is super awesome. Now it's time to get this castle wall wrapped around the entire perimeter and start on some of our details. All right, so I feel like I've gotten to a pretty good point here, and I wanted to show you the progress. So I added a little bit of detail to this building right here, and we got this nice wooden trim. And I decided to texture this side of the wall. Now the other side is not textured, and I'm really liking how this is coming out. I'm gonna add some leaves and maybe some moss and extra stuff at the bottom here, but it's looking really good right now, and I'm super happy with how it's turning out. Now you'll see the difference with the all stone version. It looks very flat. There's not a lot of detail. And if we take a look from a farther angle, yeah, it's just, it all merges together as one and doesn't really have a lot of shape to it. So eventually we'll get started on texturing this side as well. But the next thing we're gonna work on over here is I'm actually gonna add another gate, but it's not going to be as large as that one. It's just going to be a smaller gate that will lead to a path down here where we'll eventually do something in the distance. But as you can see, my tools have very low durability, so we're actually going to go fix that. Now on a stream earlier this week, I decided that I was going to build a skeleton spawner. And I actually found out that that skeleton spawner had 2 spawners right next to each other. So we were all good to start building a spawner. Now, I did mine out the rest of this mine shaft, so that's a little fun drop we got there. And I believe it's just a few levels up. Okay, here we go. This is the pathway to our skeleton spawner. Now, right through this door here, we got this beautiful room in here. I'm super proud of how it turned out, and I really love the look we got in here. So if you want to see cool random projects, make sure you're following along and tuning into the live streams. We got one spawner right here. Oh, goodbye. And then back here is our other spawner, which is right down here. And then if we just sit here for a little bit, skeletons start to fall down and we get a ton of XP. So I'm going to repair my tools and get enough levels to put some mending on most of my gear. Alright, so we got the tools all repaired up, and I got a ton of carrots and potatoes, and we're gonna go trade them with my villagers. Now, I haven't showed this on camera, but this is currently where my villagers stay. Not a very cozy place for them, but you know, it works, So we'll just trade. Ooh, got some more emeralds. Come on, sir. We'll trade some potatoes too. All right, and now I have 56 emeralds, but I forgot an important thing. I wanted to get a book so I can put mending on my boots as they're about to break, like right now. All right, now that I got my book, I can trade it for a mending book with this guy. All right, sir. Thank you for doing business. Now we can put mending on our boots, and we'll slowly accumulate more emeralds and more mending books as time goes on. And there we go, we got our boots. Now we can put them on and start to repair them. Also, there's no reason to pay attention to the name of these boots. All right, and there we go. Our boots are back to full durability. Now that some of our gear is repaired back up, we can get back to the castle and do some more work. All right, because I've already put quite a bit of time into this castle build, I'm kind of getting a little bored. So I want to do something a little bit different. We're actually going to do some terraforming on the side. So it's still beneficial to the castle, but yeah, I'm kind of tired of looking at all these gray blocks and figuring out where I want to put them and stuff. So we're going to do something with a little bit more greenery. So what I'm thinking is we just transform this like ugly looking cliff/cave thing and make it like a nice hill that blends in gently to this castle. Because right now there's a big drop off and I don't really know how I feel about that. I think I want to have this a little more gradual, still want it to sit on top of the hill, but yeah, we're going to kind of fill in this part here and cover up this ugly mess. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually light up this area. Otherwise, we're going to have a very large unintentional mob farm, and that's not really what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to take some torches and light this general area up for now, because we'll eventually have to come back in here and light up some other dark spots. But just getting a few torches down makes it so there's not a million mobs when I come back to light it up. All right, that should be good enough for now. I really won't even be going that far anyways. I just want to cover up this little section and get a little bit of terraforming done and break it down piece by piece, because doing a huge terraforming project all at once can be pretty difficult, as it's hard to see your results until the whole thing is completely finished. So what I think I'm going to do is just make little outlines, kind of like I'm making a mountain. This is something common that a lot of people do when terraforming, is just make little skeleton frames. That way it's easier to understand where you want all your blocks going, because it can be a little daunting when you see an area like this and you're like, how do I fill this in? And I'm trying to explain more of the terraforming and the building that I'm doing, because I've noticed a lot of y'all want to see the process going through my brain on how I'm actually building this stuff. So I don't really know how I'm going to like this so far. We'll definitely have to like change the shape. I just did a very basic framework, but we'll add a few more of these vertical lines, and then we'll have probably 2 horizontals going across here. All right, so we got 3 of these lines stretching across here, and now I'm just going to connect them with some horizontal lines that cross through all of them. All right, now that I got this framework all laid out, I got a nice grid that I can start to fill in. So So each section, I just want to start filling in the blocks and make it look as natural as possible, like some rolling hills. And from there, we can start to shape it even more once we have that general basic shape down. I'm also going to try and blend it into this natural hill because I think it looks pretty good. And as we're filling in this hill here, I just want to say thank you for all the support y'all have given me over the past few weeks. It really means a lot to me, and I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate it. And I couldn't be more motivated to make videos for y'all. So seriously, I can't thank y'all more than enough for all the support recently. It truly means the world to me, and I can't wait to make more videos for y'all. As more and more of this hill starts to get filled in, you'll see that there's a lot of straight lines on this hill. And the big thing that you want to focus on is getting rid of most of those straight lines. And that's quite difficult in a game that's literally built on squares and straight lines. So something that I like to do is kind of ebb and flow the landscape. As this is very straight, I'll just bring this out a little bit and bring it out here. Maybe push that back a little bit. And then you can see it's a lot less straight. We have this here, and then it cuts in, and then it cuts back out. Now, it's kind of hard to see when most of this landscape is very flat and very straight. But if you continue to do this over the entirety of the landscape, it'll look a lot better. You can also do the opposite of this. You could fill this in, and then bring some blocks out, and bring some more blocks out. And you'll see that it flows out instead of inward. So building off of that, you can extend the landscape back here to match a similar shape, but maybe in a smaller fashion. And you'll start to see that the landscape gets a lot less square. So I might take this block because I don't want this edge to line up. And you'll start to see that it becomes a lot more natural and starts to look like some rolling hills. So anyways, I will continue working on this landscape and I'll get back to y'all once it's finished. All right, and the rolling hills are completed on the side of the castle. And I'm really enjoying how this is starting to come out. Whoa, there's a witch under there somewhere. We gotta go light that up. But anyways, yeah, I've really enjoyed how this is looking right now. And I can't wait to get some extra details on here that'll just take it to another level. Like some fields, couple trees, some vegetation, all of that will take this up to a notch even higher. So we'll eventually get to that later, but that's for another day. What we're focused on is this castle. And like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna be building a secondary gate over here. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna modify the design of these towers over here, and we're gonna put some shorter ones right here with a smaller gap in the center. So we just have a nice little small side entrance that we can retreat from if we get attacked by some enemies, or just as a different path out of the castle. Multiple different things. And I think it'll give this area a little bit more interest because otherwise I don't know what I would build over here. And there we go. The framework for the second entrance is completed. Now I also did some work over here doing some landscaping. We had this giant floating section over here and I rounded off this hill. So this entire area is now terraformed. I'll eventually probably put a nice little garden up here, some trees, some rolling fields, make it look nice. But for now, we just got the basics of the hill done. And I forgot to show this earlier, but we have a nice little path up here that you can imagine some guards and some posts up here, people raining down arrows from above and just protecting the castle and the fortress. The same goes for that other side of the wall. Now, over the past few streams, I've continued to work on our lake over here and watermill, and I'm proud to say that we've pretty much got it complete. So if you come down here, we've got an extra little storage building over here with just a few chests and randomness and clutter. Not too important, just to add a little something interesting over here in this corner. We got a few new trees in this area, looking super nice. We've had this dock before, and we just kind of filled in a lot of this area. As well, I completed an interior. So when you come in here, we've got a bunch of hay, we've got a little workstation, and this is meant to be, it's connected to the water wheel, and it's meant to be like grinding down flour. So, I don't know, thought it was kind of interesting. I saw it when I actually built a castle Lego set, and they had a water wheel, and it was connected to a device similar to this, but I don't really know how it works. It just kind of looks like it works. So it's got that going for it. And then we also have a small little storage area beneath the stairs. Going upstairs, just another little room. This is the bedroom. We got a little purple accent in here with the bed and the carpet. And then I kind of just went for the same vibe of our house with the leaves and the glowberries. And I think it fits very well. This is that little balcony we got over here. We got a view of the tree, the bridge, very nice. And then over here is a little workstation, like a desk, got pencil, a little painting, just some random stuff in here. And then lastly, there's one more room in the tower and just another little storage room. I guess I just really enjoy storage rooms. At the top of the tower, we got a nice view of the surrounding area. And as well, we also have a path meandering its way up there. And then over here is our waterfall, which we'll check out next. Now, the waterfall isn't anything special. It's just a nice little detail that leads this lake into the ocean here. So as this episode comes to a close, we can't forget about the one thing we have to do every episode, which is building a tree. So with a little bit of a twirl, we have a custom tree right here, and I think it looks amazing. And this tree is just in the perfect spot. It really completes this whole area next to the tower, and I'm really glad that we decided to put a birch tree here, as it adds a little bit of variance that would have been lost with an oak tree. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video and you liked the more in-depth style while I was building the castle. That's all I have for today, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!